All right, so I have my registration system here. I'm gonna pull this out a little bit more. I gotta keep you from falling over. All right, good. Okay, so I've got my newsprint taped down. Whoops. Registration block taped to the newsprint, and then I made those marks for the sides of the block. And the idea, what I'm trying to do here is I want to transfer this image to this other block right here. So I'll take a smaller piece here. I want this to be smaller. Good. All right, so smooth side down. All right. So I'm going to put that down on the block, stick it down a little bit, and then grab my tape. So there, so the paper is taped down to the block that is taped to the newsprint that is taped to the table. So none of all these three are like with each other. So now I will print my block. Okay. So this is how, if I were printing multiple layers of ink from multiple blocks, this is how I would do it. This would be the first color, usually the lightest, and then subsequent blocks would be darker. But I line the blocks up in the same manner. I want to get in here, try to be like specific in that corner. If you really like, you could put a tape loop underneath this first block to make sure that it doesn't move either. That you just have to make sure that you do have it aligned accurately to your registration marks. Okay. There. Now, here's the magic. I'll take it like this. I don't untape the paper. Take this block out. Put this block in. And hopefully I've done a good job cutting them. If anything, just like make sure that you've got one edge lined up with like this edge lined up with with that one. Sometimes blocks aren't perfect. So now this new block is in the same place the other one was. So I'll put the paper back down. And do that. So if we're doing a transfer this way for registering blocks for multiple color, this kind of establishes what you're registering, like how the blocks are registered to each other. Sometimes like it might, you might have it a little bit, like if you've got a block that's like a 32nd of an inch larger than another one, you just make an adjustment. Sometimes you might have to cut a little bit with a utility knife. Or sometimes there's just a little bit of overlap, or like just like one of them, there's a little extra ink in the border. So in this case, if I'm doing this for a transfer to create a second block, I can see, like if I want, like, let's say like I want the sky to have just a color. I can see where the edge is so that I can, I would know where to cut. You could potentially do that with something like tracing paper, but this is a single step, and it's done the way you're going to print it. So I find it to be useful. You do have some like wet ink on here. I might like take a pencil and draw out where I'm like just like make some drawing marks where I'm cutting, just in case like it gets kind of smudged, or like like this is a very thin layer of ink, and I might have to like let it dry before I can do anything with it. But let me just try to get a little more detail off of that. Okay. Oh, I can see I got a low spot on this block. Good. Ta-da! Now I have two of them.